All right, guys, I am trying my hand at vlogging today um, because I actually rewatched the most recent episode of Married at First Sight, and I realized there are actually some other thoughts that I have that I didn't include in my most recent review, but also some things that I learned from rewatching that I was able to clarify. So, anyway, I'm gonna try talking about those things while I go about my day. So one of the things that Pastor Cal said was that the show has 6 successful marriages and 4 babies that have been born. And I'm like, 6? And this is season 9? Those are really bad stats for anybody that is like legit looking for like love and real love and to actually have a successful marriage. Like, that's not even averaging one marriage per season. And then my other question is, what do they define as successful marriage? Like, because I'm wondering if they're not counting the Philly couples, because 2 couples stayed together, remember? But then I'm like, for the seasons that I even watched, Jamie Otis and her husband, they stayed together. Another couple from season 1 also stayed together. And then I'm thinking of one of the Dallas couples and then one of the Chicago couples. So that's 4. So I'm like, there have got to be other couples that also stay together, because that would then, if the 6 include then the 2 from Philly, like, really? Okay. Yeah, I just feel like the stats, gosh, 6 successful marriages at the start of season 9. I guess I got to go back and check to look at all those past seasons that I didn't watch and see which couples have stayed together. It can't be that couples from seasons 2, 3, 4, none stayed together, because I think that was, I don't think I watched any of those seasons, or at least kept up with them. This is so weird. I'm at Modell's and I'm looking for like a raincoat, and apparently they only have it as a men's apparel. Women don't want to be protected from rain. This is why people be just losing their money at Target, because they just have the cutest things. I mean, how adorable is this? To hold the ketchup and mustard. Why wouldn't you want this? This is adorable. I'm actually wondering if Dr. Jessica and John, I wonder if their relationship will be counted as one of the Married at First Sight, like, successful marriages. I think that would be funny if they did count them. I don't think they're married yet. I think they're just engaged, but yeah, I wonder. So I had some other thoughts about Deanna. I actually feel like she might be more similar to Iris than not. Perhaps it's the way that they're editing, and perhaps it's what they're telling her to focus on or not focus on. Deanna, having not been in a relationship for the past 10 years means that she's 30 now, so that means that her relationship ended at age 20. So we're talking about a high school boyfriend here. And not sure how long that relationship lasts, but let's be honest, that's not really an adult relationship. They were basically just kind of entering young adulthood at the end of that relationship. So now we can assume that that relationship was sexual, that she did have sex, because obviously she has not marketed herself as a virgin. But given that Deanna did not then, at the end of that relationship, just start dating frivolously and, having one night stands and whatnot, which I would likely doubt that she did, especially since she said that she doesn't kiss on the first date. Remember, she said that at the night, I guess the night of their wedding. So given that, and then also given that her, Christian background right now, it's very possible, and sorry to get very technical or specific like this, but I think that it's these are just some thoughts, and I think it's worth noting. Yeah, I just think that she, even though she has had this particular relationship, it very well may have been her only relationship. Now, Iris doesn't necessarily specify whether or not she herself has been in multiple relationships, but at the very least, all she does say is that she's, a virgin. So we can then perhaps assume that she has been in relationships. Anyway, I just think it's interesting, just kind of the way that they're marketing, the way that they market Iris and her virginity versus Deanna and her haven't dated for 10 years. To me, I think that they are more similar than not, essentially, quote unquote, lacking an amount of experience in the relationship realm. Anyway, those are just some things that I thought of. What do you guys think? Now to get my favorite vegetable cream cheese from my bakery. And maybe a French toast bagel or two. We'll see. Oh, and I forgot the other thing too was that, oh, it's starting to rain. Get inside. Let me hurry. Why is it raining? I didn't see rain in the forecast. Come on. Okay. The other thing I realized was, by the way, I have no idea if I'm doing this vlogging thing properly or not. The in and out of places and then just talking, I don't know. Guys, I'm just trying something. Anyway, so the other thing that I got clarification on from rewatching the episode was I kept hearing Amber say something, but it just sounded like that, like I didn't understand what she was saying. And then, but when I rewatched it, I watched it with captions, and I realized that she said Matt Gwen the Fifth, which Gwen is Matt's last name. So she was saying that Matt is he is the fourth in his, I guess, line. So she was like, oh, maybe we can work on Matt Gwen the Fifth, as in work on making a baby, and then if it's a boy, they would name him after Matt and then make him like the fifth, so Matt Gwen the Fifth. I'm in my happy place. I'm in my happy place. But a place that I don't need to get more things. I have too much yarn as it is already, but come on, you always want one more skein, right? What's one more skein? It just started to downpour, like rain really hard outside, but what better place to be stuck when the weather's bad but a craft store. Not good for the wallet though. Thank you. All right, thanks. You too. All right, so I'm finally done, and I actually think this was my last stop. Okay, so there was one other thing too that I remembered. Wow, it is definitely downpoured, but I guess I made it in just in time, which is why I got the raincoat. Okay, like when I'm outside, I mean, I would definitely prefer it to be more fashionable, but when it downpours like this, yes, I can use an umbrella, but other times I'm like, you need like the whole coat to really keep you dry. Anyway, so another thing that I noticed from watching the episode, rewatching the episode, was one, it was Greg's mother and sister that Deanna met with. And yeah, because I remember saying that I didn't note who the younger woman was. It was his sister. But also, Elizabeth's last name is Bice, B-I-C-E. I caught that this time as well. But I guess that's why her father was like, would you consider, to Jamie, would you consider taking our last name because it's only 4 letters long, as opposed to his last name is, I guess, Thompson. So yeah, I thought that was Jamie was not having it. When I'm covered in rain, when I'm covered in rain. What an appropriate song. Because it just started raining again. For Greg being, part of the quote unquote devout Christian couple, I just find that, their discussion around sex or lack thereof is quite interesting. So I do wonder if they are going to, I do wonder. Oh my gosh, I think that's my mom. Wow, she's back already. Oh, I think that's her. Oh my gosh. I'm about to catch up with my mom. But yeah, I think that, I just find it's interesting the way that they're editing that couple. So I wonder, can the couples even have a say in how they even want to be presented, there is a question of celibacy. Again, for them being a devout Christian couple, Deanna and Greg, I'm sure that they have an opinion, and not just an opinion, but a practice of being celibate, or at least that they have thoughts around it, being that they are Bible-believing Christians. So I find it interesting that there is no discussion, or at least so far there is no discussion around celibacy or around sex in marriage versus not in marriage. I do find that very interesting. All right, if that car gets off at the next exit, I know that is my mama. Is that mama? Mama, is that you? Is that you, mama? So, I just find that interesting. And I do wonder, do they have a say in how they want to be presented, how they want to be portrayed? I'm sure that they can have any kind of discussion that they want, obviously, whether the cameras are on and off. But, the producers are going to decide what they're going to cut and what they're going to show versus what they're not. And I'm right. That's my mama. Yes, with the bike on her, with the bike rack and the bike on her trunk. She's not going to notice me. Oh, why is the bike so... Anyway.